we're going to be talking about how to generate inbound sales using interns. We've talked about executive assistants in the past as far as using them for generating inbound sales. This is going to be a little bit different strategy. You don't necessarily have to use interns, but this is a great project for them. Sometimes it's hard to find the perfect fit for them. We want to work with interns, but it's sometimes hard because they require a lot of training and they're more of a temporary position. And so this type of project and lead generation strategy works really well for them. So working with interns is fairly easy. The best way to find interns is not necessarily posting a job, although you can do that, something like on Indeed. But what I've found most successful in recruiting interns is to simply reach out to different professors, typically business professors, and have them send out an email or make an announcement at the beginning of class letting their class know about the internship. And typically that's a lot easier to find good interns. I've done both paid and unpaid interns. The results are about the same, so it's really up to you. If it's going to be a long-term internship, typically you want to do a payment type option. You also want to do an agreement up front to make sure that they know that this is not, if you aren't paying them, you need to make sure that they know that this is unpaid and that you set up an agreement to cover all of your legal areas. Now, what we're going to do with these interns, and this is why it works really well with them, is we want to generate inbound leads. And so every day there's lots of online discussions where folks are talking about different technologies, making questions, producing content. And so what this does is it allows you to piggyback existing content. And so you don't have to go out and write the content. But pretty much every content that's written across the web has some type of a discussion board at the end. And so if you can join the discussion board and engage in the conversation, it's as if you can capitalize on the content without having to actually write it. And so what you can do is you can search for different topics that are relevant to your business, like SD-WAN or hosted IP or UCaaS, or whatever you think that would be a good place to focus your time, and identify content that's already covering this, which is actually driving inbound traffic themselves, and then you can piggyback that and join the discussions and kind of engage with customers, either posting something or replying to something that's out there. Now, if you stick to a specific type of subject, it's going to be a lot easier for your intern to actually navigate, so you can create some standard replies and post that would help your interns just to kind of put it out there. And so you can go in and talk to people, look at what's happening, look at the online discussions, and ultimately what you really want to make sure you do is you have a link back to your site. Now, you don't want to make this just straight out advertising, but you want to make this a natural conversation. A lot of times there are different policing forums that will keep you from posting just straight up advertising, and it's not going to go over well anyways with the audience that you're trying to cater to. So essentially what we're going to do is once you recruit an intern or two, you would then assign them specific topics to go and engage on public discussions in order to drive inbound traffic. So there's lots of great ways that you can look at, but you can kind of feel what would be best for your business, but you can just look for different keywords. Now, we have put together a really easy tool for you. If you go to your Ensable portal, portal.ensable.com, and there's a section under social alerts. Some of you may have seen this but didn't necessarily know what this is for. But what this does is it helps you find the discussions related to any given topic. So if you do a simple search for SD-WAN, it'll automatically pull up discussions that your interns or yourself can engage in. So you just click on any of the blue links. It'll take you directly to the page. And if you scroll down to any of those pages at the bottom, you'll be able to see the discussions that are happening. Now, right underneath the social alerts link is a link that says website traffic. And this is great where, in addition to just getting traffic to your site, it may help you get a higher ROI on this project if you know who is actually visiting your site, because let's say 90% of the people that hit your site are just going to walk away. But if you knew who they were, you could actually follow up with them. And so you could add this code, which is at the top of the page here, to your website, and it'll use the IP addresses of the companies visiting your website to identify who they are. Those companies will then show up in your history section here under website traffic, showing you which companies are visiting your site. And so these two applications, the social alerts and the website traffic, really work hand in hand, but you should find this very helpful in basically engaging in inbound traffic. So if you're not much of an outbounder, I think that these tools will be very beneficial for you. One thing to keep in mind, though, this is not a fast results type of campaign. This is something that you're going to build up over time. Every link and every discussion that you engage with will create lots of inroads to your website. Over time, those will add up and you'll start generating a lot of inbound traffic. But it may take a few months or even up to a year before you start seeing significant results. Just depends on how much activity your interns are actually engaging in. You could easily pick up 10 interns, especially since a lot of people are working remotely, and having them all work on different keywords simultaneously. Just have them split it up between the different keywords. They can all log into the Ensable portal simultaneously and use this same tool. So that's it for today. Hopefully that made